the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be bearer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like some.
Hey, it's your girl Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Salt in the Game album review of the LOX Living Off Xperience. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, nobody has been calling for this album more than me, dog. Y'all already know that. Before all this quarantine stuff happened, it was supposed to drop. I believe they pushed it back because, you know, they do a lot in touring. That's where they really get the bulk of their money at right now. It's not really off of album sales, even though here and there, you feel me, Jada did drop a project this year at 90s. We hadn't heard from him from a long time before that. Styles, he drops albums all the time, great albums, and it's not really something that hits the charts like that. It's Sheik does what the fuck he wants to do, as always. You feel me? He don't really he don't really drop music like that. But he had though. He's dropped a couple of albums last year. Last year he dropped Beast Mode 3. He also dropped Gorilla Ween Volume 2. He also was on a couple of dope features. He was on Komega's Mega album this year on a track called City of God. He also was on the DJ K Slay Living Legend album with Styles P, Back to Bars 2. And he also had a feature on Nino Man's Hungry for Success 3 Grams Going Express. You feel me? So always dope to see that he is working. It's just not how you want him to be, just like Jada is like that. The only one that lives up to par when it comes down to stuff like that is Styles. But let's get into this project right here. All right. Oh man, 4th studio album coming from the LOX. You feel me? Money, Power, Respect, We Are the Streets, Filthy America, and then this. It starts off with a dope track. It's called Gave It to Him. Styles kicks it off, Sheik in the middle, Jada on the hook, Jada on the end. This is an Afro music beat, and I said, all right, this is dope way to you know, kick it off. Jada on the end of this really bent it. Styles bent it. They all did their thing on this track. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be real when it comes down to this particular project, because I've been anticipating and waiting for it for so long. All right. So the next track is called Move. You feel me? Styles again starting it. Jada in the middle. Sheik at the end. Scotch Storch beat. You feel me? You know. Sheik is on this track calling out Lil Wayne clones. I thought that was really cool. Like, you know, he's separating himself from all the other artists that's out there, you know, showing time in the game and all of that, when it comes down to saying something, you know, about Lil Wayne clones and his disdain for them. Jada also gets kind of tricky in there. Like, you gotta listen to Jada on this, because sometimes he be slipping. He says strains from LA and San Francisco. Dog, that's not hard to do, to be honest with you. You feel me? Give me some Cookies brand shit on the East Coast, and then we talking. If you need it, hit me up. I'm joking. Then it comes to the next track, the DMX track, Bout Shit. You feel me? Dog, it's a lot going on here other than what it seems to be. Styles again kicked it off, and this is where my radar went off too. I'm like, are we gonna have Styles gonna be kicking all of these off? Because he's a great way to intro any track, because he's giving you all the bars that you need. You feel me? Yeah, in my personal opinion, overall on here, it's really Styles who's giving you the most valid bars or whatever have you. But then, you know, DMX is on this track. I believe they was shooting a video for this, or a video I dropped for this, so make sure you check it out and support them in that. But DMX really came on this track, right? He's spitting for a long time. You feel me? One part on here, he says, talk about a battle and they ain't battled a dog. That's a shot at Jada Kiss on his own track. That's a versus shot. You feel me? That's the only thing I could take away from him saying that on this particular track. Talk about a battle, but they ain't battled a dog. That's a Jada shot. That's a Jada versus shot, or versus Fabulous. You feel me? Maybe, you know, Jada was coming out his element, talking a little too hard about how he beat somebody like Fabulous, and DMX showed his discourse with that in this. And how I know it's something like that's going on here. DMX doesn't stray away from doing stuff like this. We just seen DMX and like roast Rick Ross on The Godfather of Harlem soundtrack, whatever, where he really called Rick Ross like a fake, phony drug dealer, like storyteller and stuff like that on the same track. So I was like, once I heard that, I was like, these niggas is tripping. You ain't even understand that. She got some standout bars on here with cheese. I'm like Little Caesars, fuck your debit card and your visas. You feel me? That made me smile. Sheik also sounds like he's smiling in every bars that he spits on this album. I ain't gonna front. Jada on this track though. Jada is the one that tells, brung Diddy through, even brung the R's out, reminiscing on his career and what he did for his city and how, he put some shine and some highlight in his city and stuff like that. So I really did appreciate that. All right, so now we move along. This track number 4, Testify. Again, Styles is opening it up. Sheik in the middle, Jada at the end. You feel me? Sheik says, open my third eye, focus on my lens. I don't do religion, but I pray for my friends. All right, hard bars right there. That's also a play in the hook that's going on there. Then we get into the track "Miss You" featuring T-Pain. And I ain't gonna hold you. At this point, I didn't know really what to expect when I saw T-Pain's name was on this track listing. It's a cool little joint or whatever have you. Sheik starts it off, Styles in the middle, Jada on the end. But I was really like, okay, let's not lose what's going on here. This is a girls track. This is a girls track. Let's just be clear here. So you got the girls track off, whatever. I'm still looking for what I'm looking for on here. Let's continue. All right. The next track on here is called Story. Again, Styles is kicking it off. And this is where I was like, you know what, this shit is not going to be all it's cracked up to be, because you have a track where y'all telling a story, y'all all backing each other up on this story, or y'all all bits and pieces in this story up, but then you just call a story. Like, I didn't get I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's real inventive. Even like, storytelling tracks is this, that, Tony's story, such and such story. You just named the shit. Story, that was like a telltale sign, like something is going to be aloof here. Like, you feel me? Because there's not enough focus going into something as simple as that. A track where, yeah, y'all all storytelling. The fuck you really just gonna name it story? You got a whole podcast. You can name it fucking podcast tales. You don't gotta name it story. But let's keep going on here. Then there's a track on here, Do to Me, right? With Jeremiah. Now, I ain't even gonna hold you. Once I heard this, I didn't even realize this was Jeremiah. I was like, yo, what trap rapper they got doing a hook on this joint? And when I looked over it, it was Jeremiah. I was highly disappointed. This is not how you use Jeremiah. Like, straight up and down. This is not how you use Jeremiah. This is another girl track. So we have like girl track, like story track, girl track, right in the middle of this album. And I'm still looking for what I'm looking for. Let's be clear here. All right. So number 8 on here is called Come Back with Static Selector on production. You feel me? Styles again, just killing shit in the beginning. Sheik in the middle, Jada Kiss at the end. You feel me? This was a hard track. This was like that track that made me get that old feel back for the LOX. I was like, okay, well now we done moved into the third part of this album. Maybe they're gonna give me what I'm looking for. All right, but that didn't happen. But the next track that did come on was a surprise for me. All right. It's called Think of the LOX. Large Professor is on the beat. He's doing some ill-ass scratches on here. That is dope. You know how I feel about scratches and keeping that art form alive when it comes down to our music moving forward. You feel me? Paying homage. Featuring Westside Gun on the hook and Benny the Butcher giving us bars. And, on this track, Sheik again explains to us how he does not like Lil Wayne clones, and I ain't even mad at none of that. Everybody ripped it. Benny, I just want to let you know, like, dead serious, to tell a group of real niggas that you gonna put a stash house in their town is mad disrespectful. I'ma just let you know, like, they let that shit off. I would have never let that shit off in there. You wild disrespectful for that. But I see what you was doing with the wordplay. You want it to be impactful and highlighting their work and where they're from and stuff like that in there. But dog, don't ever say you're gonna put a stash house in my town. That's a no-no. But let me explain something to all of you guys. If this is your favorite track off of this LOX Living Off Xperience album, the fucking LOX failed you. The LOX failed us. This should not be the hottest track on the LOX album because the LOX have never needed nobody else to make them or help them have a street anthem or anything regarding that, unless they are female on a hook. Let's be clear here. If this is your top track off of here, this album is trash. I'ma just keep it 100. Now the track is hard. Don't get it twisted. You feel me? Westside Gunn did his thing on the hook. Like I said, Benny did his bars. Everybody gave the bars. But if this is the highlight of a LOX album, something is over, dog. Something is wrong here. And you know what I mean? Now, even with this going on, with this track going on here, I'm still looking for what I'm looking for. And on the next track, lo and behold, right? Oh my goodness. I can't really believe that they sat here and took all this time out to make this album, and this album did not come out to be as fire as it's supposed to have been. It's really disheartening. The next track is My America. Okay, cool. You feel me? Touching on, you know, being street conscious and doing what they gotta do. You know, I was really like, yo, this is a filthy America throwaway or type of shit. But everybody gotta have one of these tracks on their albums right now, or their shit ain't valid. Let me just explain that to you. This is the new mainstream for us, is to make sure that you have a Black Power track on the album. And I hope something like this wasn't the reason why it got pushed back, even though this is a nice joint. Okay, you know, that's what I just said. Like, I can't believe y'all like coerced me into thinking that all this time was passing for them to perfect and tweak this album, and that shit didn't happen. But let's keep going. All right, on the next track, Net Worth. She comes out and says in the beginning of this track, this is the anthem right here. And you know what Madam Money did? Madam Money said, no, it's not. I didn't even get into that. I knew it wasn't, because if this is the anthem track right here, it is so far back in the album, it's impossible for it to be the anthem track. Is it the anthem track? Are y'all gonna be bumping this? Is this the street anthem track? Is this the anthem track for y'all? Net Worth? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Like, yo, I really can't believe I sat here and waited all this time for this album. This album is like, it's just not up to par. Then, yo, they got a track on here called Dirty Dirty. Now, this is their attempt to be commercial, because the LOX is a mainstream group. And being a mainstream group, you have to have a commercial hit or something on the chart. Otherwise, I don't care if y'all like it. I don't care what's going on in the industry, is considered a failure. So this was their attempt to be commercial. And let me explain something here. First of all, it's outside their lane 1000%. For all three of them to be on a track like Dirty Dirty, that's outside their lane. Even though, and Jada acknowledges it on there, you feel me, boom bap over twerk beats. Like, nah, this is something y'all shouldn't even try to do. But this is a commercial track. This is the track that they think is going to go on the charts and be valid. This is the track that they think is going to get played on the radio. This is the track right here. Absolute nonsense, dog. I can't even believe that this shit happened like this, to be honest with you. I was highly disappointed. Keep it going in there. And not that the bars wasn't there. If it wasn't for Styles P on this joint, like, they knew what they was doing having him open all these tracks. Because if it wasn't for him, if it was in any other sequence, dog, Jada's even spitting some shit on here, but he's like, yo, he's not coming as hard as Styles on this album. Let's just be real. The next track on here, Commitment. Now that's another girls track. So now we have like 3 tracks, 3 to 4 girl tracks going on, the anthem and the fucking commercial single, and none of this shit is sticking to me, dog, at all. The last track on this album, I'm gonna say this again to you. The last track on this album, Loyalty and Love, should have been fucking duplicated 1,000 times on this fucking album. It took for the last song on the album for them to give us that true LOX vibe that we all fucking respect and stand behind. Last track on the album. Now, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. You feel me? This right here, like, anybody who's really like, I don't even know, like, what tracks would you play over again from off this album? I'm gonna tell you personally, me, I will play the intro track over, gave it to him. I may play Bout Shit if I want to laugh at DMX, Son and Jada Kiss on this shit. I may listen to Testify. You feel me? I'll definitely listen to Comeback. I will listen to Think of the LOX, and I will listen to the last track on here. Now this shit has 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Has like something like 15 tracks on here, at least 14 tracks on here. I don't know if my math is right. You feel me? But that's not good enough, and it's like, it's really, really disheartening to see, they make valid work by themselves. They'll make valid work for themselves. Jada arguably put out an album of the year contender in some of y'all minds. Not me. I didn't like it because it was too based around the girl shit on here. Y'all saying this grown man raps and all of this shit like that. Yeah, I understand grown man bars when I hear them. Also understand girl bars when I hear them too. Fucking girl. Alright? So, you feel me? I don't even know. How would you rate this album? That's the real question. Alright? I told you what I would listen to. You know what you gonna listen to. What would you rate this album? Make sure you rate the album in the comments below. But I gotta get out of here because I gotta get myself together, even to like, so we're really supposed to wait another how long to get something like this? Or do we even want another LOX album? I don't know. I'm pretty sure y'all don't think it's as bad as putting it out to be, but you will find that this don't make no type of moves at all. But I'm Madam Money. You can follow me on Twitter at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. You can also follow me on IG underneath the same name. Dog, like, yo, really, it's crazy as hell. I can't believe they came and they did this. I just want to say salute to Styles for holding us down for the last couple of years and making project after project after project after project of fire. Peace.
Dark matter in the form of a light body.
Want me to simplify it? You cannot harm me. Not here to debate who's better or great. I'm dissing the fate and serving the plates.
They got to eat that.
The beast back, blood gate, she unleashed that. Ease back, you don't know where my peeps at.